At first, it looked like just an empty box, but the police dog wouldn't stop barking, and what they found inside shocked everyone. It was a Tuesday morning in late December, the kind of morning where the world goes completely silent, where the snow falls so thick you can barely see 10 feet ahead of you. Officer Jake Mercer had been a police officer for 11 years, and his K-9 partner, Rex, had been with him for 6 of them. 6 years of training, 6 years of trust, 6 years of saving lives together. That morning, they were doing what they did every Tuesday, a routine patrol. The highway stretch outside of town, quiet roads, empty fields, nothing unusual. At least, that's what Jake thought. The temperature had dropped to -8 overnight. The kind of cold that bites through your jacket. The kind of cold that makes you want to turn around and go home. But Jake kept walking. Rex kept pace. Nose to the ground, alert, focused. This was their world, their routine, their purpose. And for the first 40 minutes, nothing happened. Just the crunch of snow, the distant sound of a passing truck, the gray winter sky. But then, Rex stopped. Rex stopped so suddenly that Jake nearly tripped over him. In 6 years, he had never seen Rex do that. Not once. Not like this. The dog stood completely still, body stiff, ears forward, eyes locked on something ahead. Jake followed Rex's gaze. And there it was, a cardboard box, sitting by the side of the road. Not unusual, right? People throw things out all the time. Old boxes, garbage, junk. Jake had seen 100 boxes just like this one. But Rex was not okay with this one. The dog took one step forward, then another. Then he started barking. Not the playful bark you hear when a dog wants attention. Not even the alert bark of a dog who spotted a squirrel. This was different. This was urgent. This was the bark of a dog who knew something was very, very wrong. Jake pulled back on the leash. Easy, Rex. Easy. But Rex pulled harder. He wanted to get to that box. He needed to. Jake slowly approached the box. He crouched down in front of it, looked inside. Nothing, just damp cardboard, a little torn on the edges, maybe a few old rags stuffed inside, but nothing that explained why Rex was losing his mind. Jake stood up and looked at Rex. There's nothing in there, buddy. He started to walk away, but Rex refused. He planted his 4 paws in the snow like concrete. He wouldn't move, not an inch. He kept barking, kept scratching at the snow in front of the box, like he was trying to tell Jake something Jake couldn't understand. Jake tried again. He tugged the leash. Rex, come on, let's go. Nothing. And that's when Jake felt it. That quiet, cold feeling in the back of your neck. The feeling that says, you're missing something. He'd worked with Rex long enough to know. This dog did not make mistakes. If Rex said something was there, something was there. Jake took a breath, went back to the box. This time, he didn't just look inside. This time, he reached in. His fingers touched the rags at the bottom of the box. And then, he felt something. Something soft. Something that moved. His heart stopped. Jake pulled the rags back slowly, layer by layer, and there, underneath all of it, curled up into the tiniest ball you've ever seen, was a puppy. A small, shivering, barely breathing puppy. Couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 weeks old. Too small to stand, too cold to cry, eyes shut, body trembling. Jake sat back on his heels. For a moment he just stared. He couldn't speak, couldn't move. In 11 years on the force, he had seen a lot of things. But this hit differently. Someone had put this puppy in a box, sealed the top loosely with tape, and left it, in -8-degree weather, on the side of a highway, alone. If Rex hadn't stopped, if Jake had just kept walking, this little creature would never have seen morning. Rex had gone completely quiet now. He stood right beside Jake, head lowered, eyes gentle, like even he understood the weight of this moment. Jake didn't hesitate. He unzipped his heavy jacket, the one he'd worn through 100 cold nights, and wrapped the puppy inside it, against his chest, right over his heart. He could feel how cold it was, how fragile, how impossibly small. He called it in immediately. "Base, this is Officer Mercer. I need a vet contact now. I've got a puppy, hypothermic, maybe 4 weeks old. We need to move fast." And then he looked at Rex. Rex hadn't moved. He was sitting right there in the snow, watching, waiting. His big brown eyes calm now for the first time, as if to say, "See? I told you. I told you something was there." Jake laughed quietly through the tears he didn't realize he had. "Good boy, Rex," he whispered. "Good boy." On the drive to the emergency vet, Jake kept one hand on the wheel, and one hand pressed gently over the puppy in his jacket, just feeling for that tiny heartbeat, making sure it was still there. Rex sat in the back seat, but he didn't lie down. He sat up the whole way, watching the little one, like a guardian, like a protector, like a brother. The vet said the puppy had maybe 30 more minutes. 30 minutes. If Rex hadn't found it, if Jake hadn't listened, if they had just kept walking. The puppy survived. The vet named the condition severe hypothermia, mild dehydration, but no permanent damage. She was going to be okay. Jake sat in the waiting room for 2 hours, Rex lying beside him, head on Jake's boot, neither of them going anywhere. When the vet finally came out and said she was stable, Jake let out a breath he felt like he'd been holding all day. A few weeks later, Jake adopted her. He named her Snow. And Rex took to her immediately, like she'd always been part of his world, like he'd always known she was coming. That day on the highway taught Jake something he never forgot. It wasn't about the cold. It wasn't about the box. It wasn't even about how close it came. It was about one simple truth. Sometimes the most important thing you'll ever do is just listen. Listen to the dog who won't move. Listen to the feeling that says, "Go back." Listen to the quiet voice that says, "Something here matters." That day, Officer Jake Mercer realized that the real heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes, they have 4 legs and a bark that refuses to be ignored.